Thanks for joining another video. My name is Matt. I am Mike's twin brother on his channel, Your Driver Mike. In this video, I take you along with me and we find out some big tips and things that you should avoid when you're driving Uber Eats. So another good tip on what to avoid when you're driving Uber Eats or really any food delivery. You can see here it's pretty wet outside. Now, you probably can't tell, but when I picked up my first order, my jacket, I was entirely wet. So make sure when you're picking up your order, you get a food saver bag. Now you can get these at Mike's Amazon storefront. The link will be in the description below, but that'll keep the bag and obviously the food nice and dry, which will only help you and the customer because you don't want to be hanging off a soggy bag because it was caught in the rain for a few minutes, especially if you're leaving it outside. Keep that bag as dry as possible, as long as possible, and everyone will come out happy. So here's a really good example of 3 things not to do packed into one order. So what you don't want to do is only drive for one platform. Actually, we encourage you to drive for at least 2, and that's called multi-apping, having both applications open at the same time. Now that's gonna give you more requests. So you're gonna get Uber Eats requests coming in and DoorDash. And again, once you're comfortable with one, go ahead and apply for the other. So you see in this example, I got a $7 order, a reasonable distance. However, I actually declined the order because I was actually active on Uber Eats as well. And I declined it because it ended me outside of those power strip areas. And on this channel, we talk about a power strip is a strip of roads with a ton of restaurants, definitely where you want to be. So I went ahead and declined, but since I was multi-apping and using 2 apps at the same time, I immediately got a very similar request with Uber Eats, much closer to me, and it ended me right where I wanted to be in those power strip restaurant areas. So make sure you're not only using one application. Once you're comfortable, go ahead and apply for another food delivery application. Another thing to avoid is not reading the instructions, the food delivery instructions. I implore you, please read the food delivery instructions, and here's why. So it is still rainy outside, but I'm out here for you. I want to give you all these examples. So the person I just delivered to, they said, can you meet me at the main entrance? It was more or less a school building, it looked like. So they had actually walked down the street right outside of the main entrance, which was separate from where I first initially went in. So if I didn't know that they wanted me to pull up to the main entrance, I would have completely missed them. I would have left their food at the wrong door. So make sure to read those instructions. Sometimes they will say, can you leave it in the main lobby? Especially important when the weather is rainy outside. You don't want to leave a bag outside, specifically if they tell you to. So make sure to follow those instructions. You don't want to ignore those. Don't do that. It's definitely not dry today. Make sure to bring your rain jackets and your food saver bags. All right, guys, so same shift. Look who joined us. Mike is here along with us. So we're talking about things to avoid when driving Uber Eats. What's one thing that they should avoid?
Well, I'd say that with regards to the boost zones, the bonus zones, it's just an earnings multiplier. You know, it's 1.1, 1.2, etc. Is your marketplace is going to have usually several boost zones. Again, you know, 1.1, what have you. And I would say to not chase a different boost zone. If it's only an additional, you know, 0.2 or 0.3, it's not going to be worth it. So if you're in a zone, it's 1.2, I mean, take it and then, you know, see where that takes you. Maybe it will take you into another boost zone that's higher, but I mean, I wouldn't drive, waste miles just to chase another, 0.2, 2x multiplier.
Yeah, good point. So basically, take something that's near you. You're going to get more frequency. Don't waste your time driving for maybe a 0.2 or just a slightly higher boost zone. Good point.
Definitely.
So back here in the home office, those are some of the big power tips and things to avoid when driving food delivery and Uber Eats. So if you have any tips, I want to hear them in the comment section below. Some things that you've experienced, some tips that you would share to other drivers, and things to avoid to maximize the time on the road. Really what it comes down to is giving yourself as many choices as possible by driving on multiple apps when you feel comfortable doing so. So giving yourself the most chances to accept that high request revenue dollar, and then also following those instructions to give yourself the most chances for those high tips through really, really good customer service. So again, this is Matt. I am Mike's twin brother on his channel, Your Driver Mike. For For all the latest videos, make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And for courses and more power tips, visit yourdrivermike.com, and we'll see you in the next one.